Well, former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has been hospitalized after sustaining a fall during a congressional visit to Luxembourg. A Pelosi spokesperson released a statement saying that the Congresswoman is, quote, currently receiving excellent treatment from doctors and medical professionals. She continues to work and regrets that she is unable to attend the remainder of the CODEL congressional delegation engagements. It remains unclear what type of injury exactly she suffered, but reports say it was a fractured hip. This incident comes as Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is now recovering from a fall himself. McConnell tripped Tuesday after leaving a Republican luncheon at the Capitol. The 82-year-old senator from Kentucky sprained his wrist and sustained just a minor cut to his face. While Pelosi and McConnell have stepped back from the pinnacles of power in Congress, they still wield substantial influence on Capitol Hill. Pelosi is said to be working to defeat Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's bid to become the top Democrat on the House Oversight Committee, while McConnell will now lead a subcommittee overseeing defense spending, and he has some thoughts. Joining us now is former South Carolina Congressman, my friend and NewsNation contributor, Mick Mulvaney. Mick, what do you make of the emeritus kinds of roles that Pelosi and McConnell are carving out for themselves? They've stepped back, but they are neither gone nor forgotten. How is that working?
You know, it's fine. Look, I mean, they both serve their parties very well for a very long period of time. If those parties want to reward them with these emeritus type of positions, that's fine. I think McConnell's position is just a subcommittee chairmanship, which is, again, a powerful place. But the bigger issue, of course, is their age. I saw the same comments you saw about the speculation that it's a broken hip for Nancy Pelosi. My dad went through that. It was miserable. The recovery is going to be miserable. And despite the fact they've stepped back from leadership, as you and I both know, they still vote. And in a House that is so narrowly divided, a Senate that is actually closely divided, them not being there for any length of time could actually change the course of legislation in this country.
So you think it's term limit time? Is what I hear in the Mulvaney voice is term limit time.
You know, I offered a sort of a middle ground back in the Hill that you and I both write for a couple months back, saying we could just have a constitutional amendment capping the age at 75 for the House, the Senate, the Supreme Court, and the White House. Term limits obviously would have to change the Constitution as well. You have to give credit to Democrat Peter Welch and Independent Joe Manchin in the Senate. They offered a bill this week that would set term limits for the Supreme Court at 18 years. But to have the Senate do that and then not offer term limits or age limits for themselves is kind of ironic. But at least we're having this national debate about whether or not you should serve forever in our government.
On the Pelosi front, one of the things that she's doing sounds like she's trying to deep six Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's effort to be the top Democrat on the high publicity oversight committee. But Democrats are in the minority. There's not that much that she could do if she got the gig. What's all the hubbub about this little feud?
Yeah, you know, as a Republican, I just hate it when there's Democrat on Democrat violence, and you can tell that I don't mean that. But no, look, here's the situation about that particular committee. That's a television committee. It's not an A committee. It's not a B committee. It doesn't do legislation. It doesn't raise a lot of money, but it gets you on TV all of the time. And even the ranking member will have front and center opportunities to be on all the left-leaning media outlets for the next 2 years. If she gets that position, that would be AOC's job to go on TV every single night. I'm not sure Nancy really likes that. I think the Democrat Party is having a discussion right now as to whether or not AOC is the future of the party or some of the more centrist Democrats are the future of the party. And if they let her have this position, she'll have a giant bully pulpit to preach leftist progressivism within the Democrat Party.
Mick Mulvaney, who found a way to be on TV every night and not have to go to annoying committee meetings. We thank you very much for your time. Happy Friday.
Thank you for watching. And make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.